Welcome to The Explainer. Today we are taking a wildly energetic dive into the 80-plus year legacy of the Looney Tunes to see exactly what makes these classic animated shorts tick. I mean, if you grew up anywhere near a television set in the last century, these characters are likely burned into your brain forever. But today, we're not just reminiscing, we're actually going under the hood to review how this franchise was built, how it evolved, and how it constantly manages to reinvent itself in the modern era.
But before we get into the heavy lifting of animation history, let me ask you a quick question to kick things off. How old exactly is that carrot-chomping icon we all know and love? If you had to put a specific number to Bugs Bunny, what would it be?
Well, if we do the math based on their first official appearances, the numbers might actually shock you. Get this. As of the year 2026, Bugs is 86 years old, Daffy Duck is 89, and Porky Pig is a staggering 91. Yet their brilliant malleability allows them to just be dropped into literally any era or spoof as fully formed adults. Writers can place Bugs in a medieval parody, a sci-fi spoof, or a modern sitcom scenario, and it just works seamlessly. He's this intentionally timeless, forever practical adult rabbit who adapts to whatever wacky universe the gags require.
Because this franchise is such a massive, sprawling cultural artifact, here's our roadmap for today to unpack it all. 1. The Golden Age origins. 2. Evolution of the icons. 3. The physics of funny. 4. Censorship and cultural shifts. And 5. Reinventing the franchise.
Okay, let's jump right into Section 1, the Golden Age origins, finding the tune. Let's travel back to the 1930s to uncover the inception of the franchise and figure out how this incredible roster of characters first found their footing. What's really interesting is that initially there was a strict separation between the two major branches of Warner Brothers Animation. You had the Looney Tunes and the Merry Melodies. Looney Tunes were the character-driven shorts, originally featuring early stars like Bosco and Buddy before Porky Pig really took over. And notably, they remained in black and white all the way until 1943. On the flip side, Merry Melodies were built primarily around music and songs, almost as a direct answer to Disney's Silly Symphonies, and they shifted to vivid colors super early, back in 1934.
However, that strict separation definitely did not last. After 1943, both series were in color and featured the exact same characters, leading to total internal confusion. Even legendary creators completely abandoned the distinction, which really proves the glorious chaos of the studio at the time. Just look at this fantastic quote from director Friz Freleng. When asked about the difference, he bluntly said, and I quote, "No, I never knew if a film I was making would be a Looney Tunes or a Merry Melody, and what the hell difference would it make anyway?" The creators cared about the laughs, not the corporate branding labels.
Moving right along to Section 2, Evolution of the Icons, from sketches to superstars. Let's see how this studio history builds into the creation of the specific characters we know today, because they absolutely didn't start out looking or acting the way we remember them.
Bugs Bunny, for example, wasn't just born overnight. He evolved, kind of like a giant puzzle slowly coming together. In 1938, a crude, hyperactive proto-Bugs appeared in a short called Porky's Hare Hunt. He was further refined in early 1940s Elmer's Candid Camera, though he still kind of had the wrong voice and the wrong look. It really wasn't until July 27, 1940, in the Oscar-nominated short A Wild Hare, directed by Tex Avery, that Bugs became the definitive, confident trickster voiced masterfully by Mel Blanc. That is the moment he truly became Bugs Bunny.
And Daffy Duck underwent his own dramatic transformation too. Originally, he was exactly what his name implies, completely Daffy, just a spluttering, bouncing nutcase. But his personality shifted majorly around the 1951 short Rabbit Fire. The creators actually combined the greed of Looney Tunes producer Leon Schlesinger with Schlesinger's actual lisp, turning Daffy into an acquisitive, jealous grump. Basically, the perfect foil to the cool and collected Bugs. Interestingly enough, though, in the 2026 film The Day the Earth Blew Up, directors made a deliberate choice to revert Daffy back to his original, goofy, self-control lacking roots, which just goes to show how fluid these characters' personalities really are.
What's really amazing is how later iterations of the franchise pay tribute to this complex history. Even modern spin-offs honor this past with some super deep mythology gags. Like in the 2011 series The Looney Tunes Show, Bugs drives a car with the license plate TA72740. That's a direct nod to Tex Avery and the July 27, 1940 debut of A Wild Hare. Or the show's opening credits, featuring a 3D Warner Brothers shield almost crashing into the screen. That's a direct visual reference to the only 3D classic short, Lumberjack Rabbit. They even purposefully maintain the classic vaudevillian gag of characters frequently cross-dressing for disguises. They really respect the source material. Now for Section 3, the physics of funny, deities of animation. The crucial point here is how these characters function within their world, which leads us into the fascinating and somewhat unexpected academic territory of cartoon physics.
Okay, this might actually be the most surprising fact of this entire explainer. Did you know academics actually draw thematic parallels between the Toon Squad's ability to survive getting flattened by anvils and the immortal hero twins of the ancient Mayan creation myth, the Popol Vuh? It's true. Researchers note that both sets of characters use treachery and defiance to overcome seemingly impossible odds, completely suspending the ordinary physical laws of the known world. I mean, they instantly recover from injuries that would be fatal to anyone else. It proves that these themes of physical resilience and trickster mythology resonate deeply across all of human history, from ancient texts all the way to Hollywood animations intended for Saturday morning television.
Next up, Section 4, censorship and cultural shifts, navigating history. As a living historical artifact spanning nearly a century, the franchise has naturally had to navigate the changing tides of cultural norms, bringing up several controversies along the way.
For instance, there are 11 classic shorts, widely known as the Censored 11, that have been entirely withheld from television broadcast syndication since 1968 due to offensive racial stereotyping. This presents a really complex historical debate over preservation versus censorship. While these shorts are deemed entirely inappropriate for modern broadcast, film historians and figures like Whoopi Goldberg, who actually introduced some of the uncut DVD collections, argue that keeping